But just in terms of your work as a singer, just how you've seen yourself kind of grown, and that's something you're conscious of.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that I like how I sing better now than I used to, and you know, it depends who you want to read. I read some guy who said that my vocals are grating on him and now, and that I can't sing as well as I used to. But I listen to old records, and as much as I'm proud of them, I hear a very tense, kind of uptight band, you know. And I think now we're learning how to do it.
Mm-hmm. And harmonizing with Tim, because I still read in reviews, and it bugs me enough, it bugs you guys, where people still compare the old sound and the harmonizing with Mark and all that kind of thing. And now it seems like you guys are harmonizing just as well or better than, you know, the old incarnation of the band. You guys...
It's just different.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's better or worse. I think Tim is maybe a more polished singer than Mark. Mark had a certain vibe that was really cool, and so, you know, I've been lucky to sing with two amazing singers. God, this is getting really sick. I'm so proud. Really proud.
Thematically, if you guys could just talk thematically about your songs, because in terms of the people write about the melancholy nature of things, yet you guys have some of the most optimistic songs mixed in of any band, I think, at times too. Do you just read those things? Do you care what people say about the music? What do you think people respond to, maybe lyrically, with what you're doing?
Well, sometimes I think people who review records, they have a stack of them on their desk. I know guys who review books, and they have to read 30 books in 2 weeks, and you know, there's no way they're going to get the nuances, you know. And I think our record, people don't always get right away, because I think it's pretty subtle stuff but it's a little multi-layered, and I don't know. Thematically, I don't think we think it out that much. I think it's just kind of, I personally like to write in kind of more the Zen way, kind of just not really Zen, but just not really thinking about it, letting it kind of come to you, and you're kind of in your sleep.
Mm-hmm. You guys surprised ever of what songs audiences really respond to that kind of hold up year to year? Is it the ones you think that would, or would other songs seem to kind of get screamed for at shows?
There's certain albums that bring out certain types of people, like Sound of Lies, which is probably our worst selling record, has probably the most rabid following. The people who love it, who really get it, I think it's the best thing we ever did. And there's certain songs like Haywire, Bottomless Cup, that they just die for, but they're like 1 out of 100, you know, act that way. And that's more what I'm interested in. Certain people hate one record, love the other, and it doesn't seem to be a consensus.
Yeah. There's songs you guys love that you're going to play almost every show no matter what, that are just always going to be part of the Jayhawks repertoire.
Well, Blue is, I mean, we didn't play it the other night. It was the first night I haven't played it, or we haven't played it in a long time. And,
it was a near riot.
Near riot. One woman came up. But, you know, it's like, I wish we could leave a lot of songs off, but I still feel like it's not always about us. It's about the audience, and, you know, we're kind of there to entertain them and make them happy. That's part of the whole deal. We like to think of ourselves as, you know, artists, but basically we're entertainers, you know. And so, you know, if you leave some of those songs off, then you find some guy who drove 300 miles to see you, and you just didn't do that song because you didn't feel like it. You feel pretty rotten. So we try to give them the basic Jayhawks package, and then we add in some weird ones and things that we just like to do.
Mm-hmm. Is there still going to be some incarnation of Golden Smog where you guys can get a little wilder? Are you guys doing other kinds of side projects these days, or branching out?
Can't get really any much wilder. Nah, the Golden Smog is like it's an occasion band. It's like if there's somebody's birthday or wedding or something. Well, you know, bar mitzvah, we'll get together and throw something together for it. But I think it's just logistically, you know. Tim's just, you know, Tim and Steven aren't in the Golden Smog, so I don't like to talk about it too much. Talk about your side projects.
Piedmont Surprise.
You're doing it. Yeah, Piedmont Surprise in Richmond, Virginia.
Huh?
I have an old-timey band back home.
Cool.
I play upright bass. And we don't have any records out, but we got one that's close to being done.
Where do you guys already writing new stuff? Do you already feel a new direction coming as this tour ends? You guys right away start doing something new?
Constantly writing. I
You just
don't-
wrote a song just now.
Just
It's
now.
really
Yeah.
weird. You forgot it though.
I mean, personally, I react off what we did before. So this record was very acoustic and pretty sounding. It's very appealing now to make a dark, kind of a loud electric record. Sounds cool to me. I don't know what these guys want to do. We haven't really discussed it.
You guys constantly have people that want to play with you, and musicians that you know, or friends that always want to like be part of you guys, since you guys have had kind of a history and you have a certain respect from other musicians.
Everywhere the Jayhawks go is the in place to go. Everything the Jayhawks do is the in thing to do. Well, tonight we have a bunch of people sitting with us. I don't know how we're going to choreograph it, but yeah, we have a lot of musical friends. I think if the Jayhawks are well known, it may not be in the public eye, but I think in the musical world and the musical industry, people I think know us. Perception of the Jayhawks is at a higher level.
If we do say so ourselves.
Yes.
I was talking to
Somebody's gotta say
Maria
it.
McKee about you guys just a few weeks ago.
Ah, how is she doing?
She's great.
She's like, who?
Those guys still together?
Huh?
Those guys?
What are your kind of your hopes and dreams for the next few years? Do you allow yourself to think that way as a band, like where this band could go, in terms of?
That's not allowed.
As long as you're writing, is this something that's going to continue indefinitely?
Well, it would be fun to stay with the same label for a while. I feel like kind of a kid, just keeps getting moved to different schools. We're with Lost Highway. We're with American, which is great, but American keeps moving around. Lost Highway seems like a very cool label. I think for this band to continue, I think, we'd like to see it, at least what we're doing or to another level. I think, I think we'd like to see it go a little bit farther than the past.
It seems like I'm Gonna Make You Love Me is finding an audience now a couple years after the album. You kind of hear it in stores and on the radio now all of a sudden when the new album is out. Are you guys kind of conscious of that? And people are just... I was talking to someone the other day, they said, yeah, the Jayhawks, I just bought Smile last week. Because that song seems to all of a sudden, because I know it's being used in a commercial, people are kind of catching on to that album a couple years late. I was wondering if you guys have much of that you guys are kind of privy to or conscious of, or...
I don't know that much about I just hear it. People call me up and say, I heard Tailspin in Home Depot between the driveway sealer and the bathroom caulk. We seem to be one of those bands that they play a lot at Home Depot.
I heard it in Home Depot.
So we actually mix our records for those little speakers to sound good on those little speakers
Right.
in Home Depot.
Something else, just a silly thing I want to ask you before I let you guys go. In terms of just using women's names in songs, just where those kind of the inspiration for those come from, and every album has 3 or 4 new ones that, like Marina and Angeline, and are these people or these people that sound great with the verse or chorus?
Usually a mixture. I don't know. I think some of it's because a name sounds good, maybe about somebody else, or someone who doesn't even exist, or in like the case of Save It for a Rainy Day, it was like 2 different people who kind of morphed into one. So
2 other people.
Yeah.
It's an ugly thing to watch.
Yeah.
He doesn't also feel comfortable using men's names.
No.
Okay.
That's probably part of
Maybe
it.
that'll finally happen on the next record.
Yeah. I think that's the next move.
Stan.
That's next.
I think Stan is a good name for a song.
Actually, since we're going to be playing that and showing a little bit of the video, if you can just talk about that song specifically, just Save It for a Rainy Day, just kind of where
Video?
that came from.
Maybe
I think
show
the
you a little
video's
bit
been
of-
shelved.
We show a little video?
Well, I know we're only supposed to shoot just a little
Oh, a
bit
little
to show
bit.
you guys playing. We're not running the video in its entirety or anything like that. It is a single, so we're going to,
Yeah.
mention the song. So
So we shouldn't really talk about the video if it's not really.
not the video specifically if you don't want it, but just the song, where that came from, and just kind of has just a catchy kind of classic feel to it.
The song's pretty little hairdo. I can't really talk about who it's about because some of it's some people out there might be offended, or it's kind of personal. So, like I said,
I'll tell you afterwards.
She
but like I said, it was 2. No, I don't think she's coming. There's 2, like I said, 2 different women, and it wasn't any kind of romantic thing. It's just a person I knew who pretty much was in total control of herself in one realm and couldn't tie her own shoes in daily life. And I don't know where it came from. It sounded like it came off as a pretty little ditty. You know,
Yeah.
I thought it would be a little heavier song than it turned out, but it's catchy. That's for sure.
When you finish a song like that, do you think to yourself, God, this could be a hit. This could be a song that people want to listen to?
No, you know, on this record, like we were talking about earlier, did we have any expectations? On this record, we really said, we're not even going to think. We always do that, but to a higher degree, we said we're just going to make a record that is so incredibly unfashionable. We don't care where it ends up. We just love making this record, and never even thought about a single. So it never really came up until after the fact.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pleasure talking to you.
Good luck on the dad front.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting stuff. Music.
Yeah.